What I'm thinking about with animal spirits, and it's a Milton Friedman reference, is the ISM's been below 50 for almost 3 years, meaning companies have been cautious. Their visibility hasn't been great, but finally the Fed is cutting, and we have an incoming administration that's seen as very business friendly. And so I think companies for the first time in a long time are going to be expansionary, feel confident doing mergers. I think this is a very good environment for small caps, mid caps, the financials, and cyclicals broadly like industrial. So I think it's going to feel a lot like the market broadens in 2025, even as tech sort of keeps up with the market.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Tom Lee joins Closing Bell Overtime to talk what to expect from the markets in 2025, if there will be a reemergence of animal spirits, and more.
Now, I know you are a quintessential optimist, Tom, but I'm curious, where do you see the biggest risks to that forecast for next year?
Well, there's, the big foil in 2025 is going to be whether or not there's a policy error, and there can be two sources. One would be if the incoming administration does implement tariffs that are damaging to the economy because we know that they'd be immediate effects, or if there are mass deportations that have some unknown impact on labor markets. The other source would be if the Fed becomes too inflation focused and allows the labor market to weaken. And so we actually slip from the Fed sort of trying to support the economy to the Fed trying to save it. I think that would be a very adverse development.
BlackRock's Bitcoin exchange-traded fund saw its largest ever single-day outflow as Bitcoin funds notched a fourth straight trading day of outflows totaling more than $1.5 billion. BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF hit $188.7 million in outflows on December 24, surpassing its previous record of $72.7 million set on December 20, per CoinGlass data. All 12 United States-based spot Bitcoin ETFs saw joint total outflows hit $338.4 million on Christmas Eve. Since December 19, the funds have seen joint net outflows of $1.52 billion. The Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund and the ARK-21 Shares Bitcoin ETF also saw respective December 24 outflows of $83.2 million and $75 million, while the Bitwise Bitcoin ETF was the only one to see an inflow, which hit $8.5 million. Meanwhile, Ethereum ETF experienced 2 consecutive days of inflows in the lead-up to Christmas. US spot Ethereum ETF continued their momentum with a second day of inflows on December 24, adding $53.6 million after a $130.8 million inflow on December 23. Launched in July, the Ethereum funds had a slow start compared to the strong early momentum that spot Bitcoin ETF saw after their January launch. However, since late November, the Ethereum ETF have gained traction, having seen an 18-day inflow streak that was broken on December 18. Bitcoin was trading at $98,035, up 4.59% in the last 24 hours, while Ethereum was trading at $3,420, up 3.28% over the same time, according to data at the time of writing. Ethereum's relative strength to Bitcoin. The Ethereum/BTC ratio is currently at 0.035. Some analysts say that Ethereum may outperform Bitcoin in January 2025. Meanwhile, net assets in U.S. Bitcoin ETFs surpassed gold funds for the first time on December 16, according to K33 Research. On December 16, the U.S. Bitcoin funds collectively broke $129 billion in assets under management, surpassing U.S. gold ETF, which held just shy of that figure, according to K33 Research's head of research, Betta Lund. The AUM figure includes spot BTC ETF as well as ETF that track Bitcoin's performance using financial derivatives, such as futures, said Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas.
Tom, one of the big themes that we just wanted to point out for viewers and listeners out there was this idea that cryptocurrencies will still be a focus, given the focus of the incoming Trump administration. We know that you're bullish on many aspects of crypto, but I wonder if you might take us through where you see the best relative performance in that crypto landscape in 2025.
Investors, at our firm for the last 8.5 years, we have recommended an allocation to crypto, including Bitcoin or Bitcoin and Ethereum. That allocation probably should be much higher in 2025 because the regulatory landscape is actually becoming more friendly. So I think Bitcoin still has to be at the core of someone's holdings, and I see Bitcoin getting to around 250,000 next year. But that would allow Ethereum, which is around 3,500 now, to probably do even better. Ethereum could get to 5,000 or 6,000 next year, and I think this is also probably the year where there's what we call alt season, where there's things like Solana and other altcoins do extremely well.
Tom, if you feel as though, and this is, again, relatively speaking, that Bitcoin is a commodity and that some of the companies that leverage those commodities could be in play as well, much like gold and gold miners, what types of companies are going to be the ones that benefit the most from that crypto expansion if it were to hypothetically happen?
2024 has given us insights. If we look at the best performing equities that are related to Bitcoin, what we would call leveraged stories to Bitcoin, meaning that they're either acquiring Bitcoin as a treasury asset or they're leveraged to the price, have done very well. And that would be things like MicroStrategy, Semler Scientific, and Coinbase. And there are other companies that are sort of doing what Michael Saylor would call the Bitcoin standard, like Mara. But I'd say in investors' portfolio, if they're especially a large cap focus, a company like MicroStrategy, gives you really good exposure to Bitcoin.
Retail investors are famously always late to the party, flocking to Bitcoin only when it smashes through glamorous milestones like $100,000. This Christmas, the dinner table will offer more than turkey and pudding. Expect curious relatives to test your crypto savvy and ask how to join the bull market. Are you ready for the spotlight? This festive season, your orange pill credentials are on trial. Will you dazzle with eloquent arguments on decentralization and monetary sovereignty, or crumble like a stale mince pie and just stammer, "Number go up"? Under the holiday spotlight? Fear not. Here are some tips to steer your family and friends through the crypto conversation. One of the first things you must do is make sure they know that any action taken is their responsibility. Inexperienced investors might mistake you for a crypto guru, but let's be honest, that's probably not the case. Chris Burnisk, partner at venture capital firm Placeholder and former blockchain products lead at RK Invest, put it, "No one knows anything for sure about markets. The only people you know for sure are lying are those who say they know for sure." When crypto markets roar in a full-blown bull run, everyone feels like the next Warren Buffett. Stay humble. Admit you don't have all the answers. Remind them not to follow your footsteps blindly like a herd of sheep. Caution is key, even in a frenzy. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Seller. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.